Hello again, guys. In today's lesson, we would like to talk about some more ideas about motivation letter and how to write your motivation letter. If you have not watched the very first episode of writing your motivation letter, please go and watch that video first. And this is the second chapter, second episode of how to write an impressive motivation letter. So make sure that you have seen the first one. This is the second one. Okay, let's move on to the third paragraph. In the third paragraph, you usually each university has its own way of requesting motivational letter or SOP. However, you mostly need to answer questions such as why are you applying for this program or for this position? You need to have some good ideas and good reasons for this question. Why do you think that this program is good for you? Why are you applying for this? Why do you want this position? This is really important. Come up with some great ideas and answer this why, because it is really good to impress professors or admission committee to have good whys, great reasons. Yes. And why this university? Why are you applying for this university or this college? Why not other universities? Why not other colleges? And this is another reason to convince them that you're really passionate about pursuing your education in one specific university or college. And why do you think you would be a good fit for this program or for this position? Maybe you would like to say you have some skills that matches uh, that could be a great match for this position or for this program. And why do you think they should choose you? This is really important to say. You are I don't know, maybe have various skills such as this and that, so as a result you would be a great fit for this position and you can satisfy their needs, or you can work under their supervision and you can do whatever they want from you, the professors, I mean. And why should we choose you? This is the question that so many professors or universities ask you to answer. Why should we choose you? Why you? Why not others? Why do you have? What do you have as an advantage, as a competitive advantage? So why should we choose you? This is really important. Don't forget about these questions. And what are your competitive advantages? What are your advantages that can make you to stand out in the crowd? In maybe there's a position and 40 candidates have applied for that position. Why should we choose you? And the reason that we choose you is because of your competitive advantages. What are your competitive advantages? This is really important. Please make sure that you answer these questions fully and you have great ideas about how to answer these questions and come up with great reasons. Let's move on to the next paragraph, fourth paragraph. Talk a little bit about your thesis in your master or bachelor and tell them why did you choose that topic. If you're, for example, applying for a PhD, you need to talk a little bit about your thesis, maybe two or three sentences about the master's thesis, about the title, about very abstract things about your thesis, and why did you choose that topic? Why you didn't choose anything else? And another thing, how did you start? How did you start your thesis? For example, you started by doing maybe by reading so many papers, and then you came up with an idea that there is a research gap there, then you need to you want to conduct a research to uh, fill that research gap, and you need to tackle it with some mathematical techniques. So how did you start it? Started by reading papers, literature review, etc., etc. And what was the result? Okay, you did the research, and what was the result? And how did you tackle those problems or those gaps? And please mention the mathematical techniques that you have used, and talk about the reasons, talk about the results, and also if you have published an article in international conferences or international journals, where did you publish it? mention this. This is really important because if you're, especially if you're applying for a PhD, this is really important for them to know that you know how to conduct research. It is a very important skills that most universities and professors are looking for. So where did you publish your article? Hyperlink the name of the website of the journal, or maybe the abstract of your article. And if the journal is a really high ranked journal, talk about the H index of the journal, talk about the I don't know, impact factor of the journal. This is really good, and this would be really impressive for professors. And who was your supervisor? uh, because mostly because if you're applying for a PhD, this is really important for them to for them to know that you have worked under the supervision of a very great professors at university, so you know how to conduct research. If your professor was a really great professor and he or she has a good Google Scholar profile or ResearchGate profile, you may want to hyperlink their profile so they can see how many citations your professor has, and it would be really good for them to know uh, who you have worked with. And be careful because when you're talking about your supervisor later, you need to have recommendation from your supervisor as well. We will talk about it in other videos, but for now this is the end of the second episode of how to writing an impressive motivation letter or SOP, statement of purpose. Please stay tuned in, and we will get back to you for the third episode of how to write an impressive motivational letter.